episode 8. We're moving. We're that much
8.
closer to our goal of 25 before
we got stranger danger.
We got the Masters today. We kind of got together. You got off of work. We've been putting this all together. We said I'm getting ready to go out of town.
Don't tell me what happens because I actually haven't been able to watch a lot of it. It's been one of those weekends.
It just wrapped. No spoilers. Just wrapped. So we're gonna talk just Masters in general because we're golfers and stories about how I met Turhan through golf, and so we'll get into that. But first I want real quick, rough week. My dog, tough one. So Hova, show's for you. Love you, miss you. Okay.
All the bones, all the treats.
And then we told you every show we start out with a little cocktail. So we stuck with the Masters theme. This is an Azalea drink. I'm going to post the ingredients and the recipe. It's pretty. Ryan mixed these up for us. We got the little golf club holding our little lemon wheel. And it is tasty. We got some vodka. We got some grenadine. We got some pineapple, some lemon juice, refreshing.
It tastes very fruit punchy.
Cheers.
It's fruit punch forward. You got 2-ounce vodka, 2-ounce pineapple, 3/4 of grenadine, and have a full lemon. But it's delicious. It's very fruit punchy. I could see this on the golf course out there at the Masters with a pimento cheese sandwich.
So you know what? We got our boy Turhan Coleman here.
He's in the house.
Check him out. Follow him on Instagram. A Modern Classic. We'll put that on the screen. Classic. Radio people, A Modern Classic. Turhan. So we met. We got two different stories of how we kind of all met at the same time, but I met you, he met you, and all of a sudden we're like, oh shit, wait, we all know each other. What's going on? Yeah. So we met over, at the time it was still St. Mark, which is now the Links at the clubhouse.
At the lake house.
Or the lake house, excuse me. Hey, formerly known as. And now it's the Brickman, as opposed to the... there's a lot going on. So,
AKA the Brick.
It's in San Marcos for anybody that knows San Marcos. It's in San Marcos.
Absolutely.
We'll leave it at that.
Home track.
So we're there kicking it. We're on the range. We're chilling. We're separate. I'm with my homie. You're with your homie. Kind of like we found out later. We're kind of like looking at each other, like, oh, check out those shoes. Oh, check out those shoes. Kind of like looking at each other, doing our thing.
I saw the flavor. I was peeping flavor.
The place goes crazy. So there's it's music. It's a good vibe. So that's why we're always there. So we're doing our thing. And I think it was the next time we saw each other. Then you were with your wife. I was with my wife. Another day. I think you were with kids. And we're like chilling. And we're over having some food, some cocktails, sitting down. And I walked by, and I think I was wearing some LeBrons that day.
I remember you had the, I believe they were the Arnold Palmer Braun, something in the range of maybe the 8s or something, 8 lows.
Hey, Arnold Palmer, See how we're just keeping everything within the theme.
On theme. Nah, but like the heat, but it was the third or fourth time I had seen you, and like you're a standout guy, you know, tall. Got a great golf swing and so forth. But like anytime you spot another cat with some great kicks on, you know, it's like, what's he doing over there?
Yeah, we talked about that as a conversation starter, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it was like the fourth time I'd seen him, and he had on something different each time, and I'm like, all right, we have to have this discussion. I gotta know this.
I gotta know about this cat.
Yeah. So it was good. So again, like we've talked about this all the time. Like again, while we say this isn't a sports show, but today is the Masters. It's Masters week. We're into it. So talking sports and kind of what golf. We've had shows with my brother to kind of talk about not just the sport of golf, but what golf does with people and relationships and networking and being able to spend time with someone you either know pretty good, maybe a business deal that you're kind of putting together and you get to know somebody, or just someone you get paired up with. And you're spending 4 to 6 hours with these people and you're maybe having some drinks. So there's levels of like everything you need to know about this person. You're going to get a crash course on this person's a fucking hothead. They're funny as shit. They're cool as shit. Opportunity. This is what they do. Like, we talk about that. Yeah, they got the little foot. They got the foot wedge behind the tree. All those things. So, like, to me, that's what I love about golf. On top of just the sport itself. So it was cool that like our connection came through at a golf course multiple times, and then sneaker, which we always talk about the sneakerhead thing and that whole vibe of being passionate about that. We mentioned Turhan's name all the time. So cool to finally have him on because that was our connection that started the relationship that then led to you telling me how you met him.
It's so funny because I actually met him before you met him. I met you, but we didn't talk and know that we knew each other, and then all of a sudden you knew each other. I met you at the restaurant, and this is the funny story because I talked about this a couple episodes ago. You came in, Brandy came in with the kid, like you had the birthday, and there was your son's birthday, I believe.
July time frame.
Yeah. And I announced on the microphone, everyone saying happy birthday, brought a sundae out, but I remember you were wearing your navy sweats. You and Brandy, beautiful couple, beautiful kids. And I remember you had your card on file. I'm just being honest. And like I said on the last few episodes, I'm like, this cat's got to be a celebrity. I have this John Legend, beautiful looking motherfucker over here. And I'm like, this is me. And I'm like, I'm looking and I'm like, this guy's a celebrity. I got to know. Did he play for Navy? You're tall. I'm like, what did he do? And I'm like, I'm going to Google him. I just looked up on Facebook. I'm like, Turhan. I got to find out who Turhan Coleman. I had to. I'm like, Navy. And then one of the things that pops up about you, and it does, is you're one of the leading scorers in Virginia high school. Like where you went to high school.
West Virginia.
Yeah, in West Virginia. In your high school. And that was one of the things I'm like, oh yeah, this cat's dope. Like we hit it off, and it's so funny because we went full circle when I was like, yeah, I know this guy. And I'm like, I know this guy. Yeah. And it just became this full circle thing. But I mean, it's from then on, like we always had that vibe. You had that vibe. And you were one of the creator thought processes when we talked episodes ago about your day ones and your day twos, your day three. Like, he was the one that messaged over, and that's what that conversation started was, and that's the awesome part about how this show started and what this is about. Yeah. I mean, just stand-up dude genuinely cares about friendships, and my favorite part about our friendships is we could not see each other for a month. We pick right up where we left off. It's not like where you let's go, let's catch up. Right. So funny, like full circle. I'm like this. I said before, this cat's got to be a celebrity. Like John Legend, dude. This wife's beautiful. His kid's beautiful. He's got this beautiful
So on that note, give us a little. Tell us a little bit your background, where you came from, school, the whole thing. Kind of introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, Ryan mentioned West Virginia hoops. That's definitely a strong kind of pillar of my sports identity. Came out of West Virginia, small town, Parkersburg, West Virginia. Look it up. Shout out Patriots. Parkersburg South Patriots was my high school. But yeah, I had an opportunity to go and play at the Naval Academy. Played basketball and ran track there during my time, and did some active duty time, which brought me to San Diego ultimately. And the way I like to kind of summarize my life to current is to say I met a girl and decided to stay in San Diego as long as I could afford to be here. So we're still on that journey. But in terms of like what you said, Mitchell, in regards to the golf connection that we made, I still consider myself a casual, right? Yeah. I'm still learning the names of these players that are on the tour today and trying to figure out who's would live and who's still with the PGA.
What the scoring means on the screen.
Yeah. I mean, just this weekend, I'm still figuring out like, okay, well, how does it all work? But started swinging sticks during COVID, like a lot of people, and that's when we ran at each other at the range and the grill. That was kind of like our prohibition style outlet at that time because like everything was shut down.
I like that.
It felt that way. Everything was shut down, and I learned that there was a driving range.
Golf's still open.
Couple miles away from my front doorstep. I could get outside. I could do something, and so that's when I kind of took to golf and started leaning in. And I've been bitten by the bug at this point. I love it. But in terms of how we met one another, it was just community. I mean, your restaurant is just a couple miles from my house, and as is the driving range. And one of the things I love about where we're at geographically is just that either the world of golf or the restaurant social scene, it just brings people together. And I've had this
huge hub.
Hey Ryan, hit that light back a little bit so that I don't know if his face is on fire. I mean, I'm a Bulls fan, so I love seeing them all lit up red. And like, look,
we shot that with your brother. We talked about this real quick. When we shot with David, dude, we were melting. And we shot for like 2 hours, and we had lights. And I'm like sitting there, like, I'm getting a tan, bro.
Yeah, we had to close the doors down because we get like the audio from outside, and just at the end, it's like, dude, we're dying right now.
Like melting. We had to like pause it. You are one of the, and I'm being genuine. Like, you're one of the most genuine people when it comes to philosophies of relationships, friendships. We've sat and talked when we just talked to players that night. Like, you genuinely care. You have a huge heart. That's what I love about you as a friend. You get it, and you're in tune, and you're not the like shit talky backstab. Like that friendship, I think we all clung to. Your swag is ridiculous. Your gear, like you saw at the tournament, like we shot the video, and there you are, fresh. Like look good, feel good, play good. Like that's.
And I don't think he was trying that day. I think he was like not even feeling good, and just like fell into some clothes and rolled.
But you have that like true like West Virginia.
I don't know, or it was laid out 2 days before. I don't know. It was one of the two.
Oh no, he's got it clean. He's ready. We could barely sleep before we golf, right? We get excited. It's like Christmas, but no, you just have that true. You could tell like from where you're from. You're from Virginia. You know, there's a different personality type. You know, and I hate to say it, but you get these floaty California like, and you cling to people, and it's funny how we're all clinging, and you get the Californians, but genuinely love you as a friend. It's awesome. Your wives, our wives are all hanging out right now, like kicking it, and that's dope,
I love
right?
that.
But like being out, like you want to get stuck in an elevator with people, and you're the kind of person like that, and like what drives you these days, like where are you at? What drives you in life? You got your awesome family. Like what keeps you like pumped up right now?
Yeah, at this time in life, I would say, really just I want to be involved with people and projects where we have shared passion, right? And so whether it's golf related, which, let me rewind just a touch to say that we've heard it so many times over the years that the luckiest people are people who get to make a living doing something they love. And, I've been a career salesperson. I've worked in finance. I've worked around the military as a civilian now, higher education and different things. But I've never had the opportunity to wake up every day absolutely fired up and excited about the product or the service. It's always someone else's product or service.
You have to go to work versus you get to go to work.
Yeah. And I mean, I manage my own morale, but at this time in life, I absolutely am focused on finding opportunities to be engaged in topics, activities, and with people that not only do you trust them, but like we enjoy being together. We don't have to force this.
Natural.
Right. Like I would volunteer for this, right? And we'll talk about it another time perhaps, but like, as I say volunteer, it makes me think of Mike Tomlin, where he says, I want volunteers, not hostages.
Steelers fan, by the way.
Yeah.
Big Steelers fan.
See a little drop, a little subtle drop.
See the little, the little selfless guy. Hey, Steelers.
But Coach T has a lot of great isms, and he says he wants volunteers, not hostages. And so I want to volunteer. I want to be involved in projects where I'm raising my hand, elbow above ear, like I'm in on that with this group of folks. Yeah. And so increasingly I'm finding more opportunities to begin to do that. And so I'm really excited about some projects and things that we kind of have in the pipeline, and we're always daydreaming together. But that is the essence of what really drives me. And you've mentioned my wife; she's my best friend and business partner, and she's been such an inspiration to me. But also, like, she's my number one accountability partner. Like, she doesn't let me settle, and she'll call me out and say, hey, I think that you're capable of more. I think that you're not thinking big enough sometimes. And so I appreciate her for that, and I'm very lucky to have her by my side. And
that's awesome.
Again, increasingly, we're finding ways to do more business together from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and just kind of take bigger chances rather than just being settled with corporate.
Without opening up the egg, like what do you got? Like just in a nutshell, anything you can share, or are you just keeping it? Like,
well, I mean, tell us what you did in this past year. That was a big part of your life in the last year.
It's been a big year.
Yeah.
That you guys did together. And you even got involved.
I got a little piece of that too. But what's going on?
So we're my wife and I decided after we got our French Bulldog 5 years ago, hard to believe that time has passed, but we decided, this breed's pretty popular. We get a lot of it's a conversation starter when we hit patios and do our little luncheon and bruncheon thing around town. We decided, why don't we breed? And we thought that like puppy dogs would be an easy lift, which
bunch of little kids that can't let's do this.
We learned otherwise, but But we thought, hey, this will be an easy lift. Don't need a lot of capital to get this started. Some research for sure. And so we just dived in, found a great local breeder who provided us the stud for our first litter a year ago. And 2023 was like our world was kind of turned upside down because it was like puppy life. We had a litter of 7 French bulldogs in our home, and we got a genuine education. I mean, it was fun, but it was very trying. We learned a ton. We will continue to do it. Ultimately, it was a challenging year, but I think that it was a success. And we were lucky enough to keep one of the litter. We now have 2 Frenchies. So Queenie is the mom. Duke's the son that we kept.
Hey,
Big Duke.
So,
and I'm passionate about Duke. So there's a huge connection.
It's crazy. It's weird how that works.
All this is connected.
I just remember like the early times, like you want to come to the crib. I got like 7 puppies right now. Like they're just. They were going over like we're doing
some late night karaoke.
But yeah,
puppies in our lap, multiple under each arm, doing some karaoke.
I can imagine you guys were just like, it's like a movie. It's like one of those comedy 80s, 90s movies where you're like, what are we doing? So you're driven.
Yeah, I mean that was our first little endeavor, like entrepreneurial. We wanted to do
together.
Something
that was your first.
Like my wife's always been corporate, and as have I, and we wanted to do something and call it our own. And I jumped in knowing we'll probably get our butts kicked, right? You think you know, and
get our butts kicked. I love that.
You think you know till you find out.
Yeah.
And we found, but we learned so much about one another in that process. Strengths, weaknesses, preferences on like who does what tasks and so forth. Our passion for French bulldogs in particular, and dogs in general, only increased throughout the process. So it was I call it our learning litter, and we'll all you develop these connections. It's like sentimental. I can think of every last puppy in that litter, and we were lucky enough to rehome each of them with great families, and each dog now has its story of its own. But that business is alive and well, and we're gonna stud Duke, and we're gonna do another litter through Queenie, possibly in 2025, and continue to grow that brand. But there's other things. I'm always in conversation now, just idea generating and sort of daydreaming about.
You guys really have that connection too. Like when I'm with you guys, like I'm not. I work and I'm a good communicator, but you guys are very idea driven. He's obviously a mastermind when it comes. I'll be like, someone asks me a question like, what should we name it? I'm like, let me ping Mitchell real quick, and he'll literally come up with it. You guys are the same, and that's that awesome.
And I think it's that like entrepreneurship where like I've done that for a long time. You said you've both been kind of that corporate world for a long time, and then kind of like, but you've had that thought of wanting to get to that place and kind of start your own things. And you've got that creative background of like, hey, how's this work? And just like, I'm the first one. We just had an episode that really talked about the ups and the downs of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And so I think that also once you do it and get your butt kicked, you're just like anything. The passion is, if you're really good at it and you really do enjoy it, you're ready to go get your butt kicked again.
Right.
And again and again. And he knows, and you've heard that like the amount of times I've gotten my butt kicked. And I've already got 5 more things I can't do fast enough, but also you learn over time that you got to do one thing at a time and try and find a success along the way.
Right.
And even when you think you do, you get your butt kicked again and you find it down. So, everything is an overnight success, except it takes 10, 15, 20 years to get that overnight success. Right. So we're all kind of looking for that. And like his background and like he enjoys that stuff. But that the point of like, I think where you came from and what you're doing and talking about that, and the best part is having the relationship with someone that supports you and drives, like pushes you to do it.
Yes.
Which my wife's become that way too. Like when we met and even not that long ago, it's kind of like, hey, that's what you do. Like I'm not, I'm gonna support you, but I'm not gonna get into your business about how you run your business and what you do.
Right towards, like,
but the more you kind of like. Is you get older and you do it and you have the failures which affect her just as much as they affect me,
right?
And the family and all that, you start to realize that she's just as much a part of it as me, if not more. And the fact that don't just sit back and let me go off to my work and try and create something without some type of participation, And for a long time I kind of had to force that, like, I don't know, you're the creative one, I don't have any. It's like, but but I also need your, not one, because you're my partner, but two, because I need that consumer, I don't know type of feedback to know how I can think differently than I'm thinking and get feedback from you or my kids or you or Ryan, whatever it is. So I think when you're saying that, I understand the fact that like you kind of entered into that, got your feet wet, got your butt kicked.
You have to be okay with that in a relationship.
Yes.
And you're just so good with the relationship talk, I think, between all of us. Like, you have to be okay with someone, and you have to be open to being, and I think you guys in your relationship especially, like the good communication of like, I need it, right? Like, you pull me down, I pull you down, like to be like, let's get grounded again and let's get centered out. So, I mean, that's awesome stuff, you know. And you look to people, I think at our age range, you start looking to those because we're all on long terms and we're in love. And it's like, but you need to have that because it's not always easy. And you guys, we all have that, you know. It's like, it's okay. I want you to kind of be like, check me a little bit. I'll check, you know, and we're good to be in tune because we're together, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I think that was my point, you know, going back to, again, our last episode and kind of showing like up to down is, again, the down part is the hardest trying time on your relationship and everything you go through financially and just everything it does to affect you on every level. So a lot of really bad days, but still at some point, like, hey, we're in this together. You work through it. And so now, and you've been part of these conversations, and you, like, the things that I'm already thinking about or had been thinking about that I didn't think I would pursue necessarily this soon, but I'm starting to look at, she's 100% included in those things, much like you're talking about with Brandy, to where, like, no, like, here's my idea. I'm gonna walk you through every step of visually how that looks and how we would do it.
Right.
Because I'm not going to put you through this again, what I kind of just did accidentally, but I'm not going to put you through any more, okay, well, go have fun, Mitchell, with your new idea, and I hope it works. You know, like, no, we're going to decide if this is a good idea. We're going to decide how to do this together. You know, like,
well, that's that CYA element to it, where it's like,
that's a participation of age, too, I think, like Ryan just said. That's an age thing, too, that starts to develop with the more you do it and the better you come at understanding relationships, understanding the struggles and why maybe something didn't work out, that you're able to go, hey, we're going to get closer together to figure out how to do this together as one.
Yeah, young guys.
And
get in tune with this. I love this. Yeah. And look, we're on here now. We're vulnerable. And I love it. And this is the realities. And just be ready. Like, love your mom, love your women, love the people around you. They're going to keep you grounded. You keep them grounded.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, within that, I think that what we share and the kind of the underpinnings of that point is that, like, we probably all come from scenarios where we were raised to give honor to the women in our lives, right?
Yep.
Giving honor.
We share that.
And you know, whether it's my grandmother, my mother, it you know, it carries forward to my wife, my daughter.
Yep.
Just giving honor to those women, and something that, you know, there's a couple nuggets that I was thinking when you were sharing, Mitchell. One, there's a CYA element to involving my wife, right? Because I've done it the other way. I've done it the other way, right?
Yeah.
Where what? I have this great idea, but hey, I'm gonna just go and grab a couple beers with Mitchell. We're gonna chop it up because we got this idea, and we're gonna do woo woo woo. And she doesn't really know what we're busy working on.
You can be out having beers and shooting golf, you know.
And unless that idea brings back revenue, right? She's like, you've been out here, you just been bullshitting. Like,
You're on some bullshit right now.
So and sometimes that may be true a little bit, but I love to involve her, one, because my wife has a great business mind, and even if it wasn't a business mind, it's a great check and balance. Like you said, Mitchell, like, it's a different perspective that they bring to the table, and so we need that to run our ideas through a certain filter.
You're also gonna do better at something if they're supportive of it, understand it.
1,000%.
Confidence.
1,000%.
You have that confidence. Even when I go to golf and one night she goes, I need you to go golf. I get out. That confidence shows. I'll shoot better.
That changes your game day. Yeah.
You need to go pick up a kid, you know, and that's true. And it's probably the same for them. You know, it's the same for everyone.
Of course.
Same thing, like, if you guys support, we support each other. So, I mean, this is great stuff, like, relationship-wise. Again, like, you were just a very spiritual, very in tune. You're very devout. You guys have a great relationship. But that's something that I cling to you, and I know that we cling to each other. Like, just, you're very savvy and smart when it comes to not only fashion and looking fucking good. Is you guys just you get it. You know, you guys are natural, organic, and real, and genuinely love each other, and know there's highs and lows. So it's an awesome friendship. You know, it's an awesome dude right here. He's smart. He's wise.
I appreciate that.
Are you kidding me?
Wise, and I like that. Same with the looking good, and this is chasing the cool, which is me my whole life designing and trying to make myself look good, and other people look good, and companies look good, and all that. That was kind of one of the things I wanted to kind of dive in. You can look right here. Like actually, we all got some different type of heat. We can start over here with Ryan. I mean, obviously, Boston Celtics guys got the green on for the Masters Day.
Pigeon. And look, you talk about wanting to make people look good. Mitchell got me this. I mean, I'm not going to clown. I mean, the hat's fresh. Got me the staple. Boston Mass. Things fresh. Feel good, look good. When you go out, the confidence.
I'm gonna skip you because we're gonna focus on you. Yeah. I'm gonna skip you and just go to my basic Chasing the Cool Masters shirt, which is available at chasingthecool.com.
I'm gonna get one too.
Get my phone.
The master.
How do we search
Things
this?
might be sold out already.
Yeah, we need to get on there.
We got like 3 different colorways. So you have fun with it. It's got the big on the back here. We got this. We got it going on the back.
I need an azalea pink one.
Yeah. So we got that. But what I want to jump into is I want to kind of cross over because we don't need to dive into the specifics of how the Masters went, the players and all that. You watched it or didn't care if you're listening. But the crossover of, for me, for golf and for you with what you're wearing, the guys that are out there, obviously the number one thing is people, Tiger Woods, he played in the Masters again this year. Yeah. And he started out great, had a good couple days. The guys got some, just walking around the course is hard enough, playing and all that. So it was awesome that he made the cut once again and was out there, and it was that's why people tune in, that's why the fans are there.
How many consecutive was that?
And that was, what was that? It was,
he's consecutive Masters.
Yeah, that he's made the cuts.
Cuts made. It was like 24 of them.
Yeah, 23 or 24.
Yeah,
right?
23 or 24.
Yeah.
So that was amazing, and that was his first time at the Masters wearing his new line, which is Sunday Red.
Right.
So that was kind of cool because for me, that's the stuff that you and I, all 3 of us do. We're constantly giving each other
looking at
check this out, and you're looking,
you're probably watching that more than you're watching his game.
They tease the logos, and you're looking at the shirt, like what shoes he wearing, because he's not Nike anymore, so what do they look like? And then, we dive all the way into like, okay, who's involved? Is TaylorMade behind that? Who's making the shoes? Is it G4? Is it like, and sometimes we know because we have inside, and sometimes we don't know. So you're kind of, he went from Nike, and when he still had a Nike deal last 2 years, he was wearing FootJoy once he got hurt because like the Nike wasn't even giving him the support that he needed just to walk around the course, because it's just look good, feel good, play good. At that point, he's like, I'm old, I need to feel good.
It's just crazy to me though that Nike couldn't demise a shoe for the legend.
So obviously, I think there
would be orthopedic enough for Tiger Woods.
Right. I think there was layers to that, obviously, that were developed on that.
Right.
And it's funny because when you read into that stuff and think there's maybe some sour relationship that ended with Nike or something, then you see his son Charlie show up this morning with in the red, and they're both wearing the Sunday Red, and he's got on some AJ1, so like okay, like the damage isn't completely done. It's
the apple doesn't fall far.
But the point is like Sunday Red, that's the whole thing, and then we get into this where like Jason Day was in the first couple days, he was at the very top, the camera's on him. He just did a deal with Malbon Golf, and Malbon Golf is just the new hot, trendy, kind of like urban, just a different, like you said, you're this new golfer coming in that's like kind of into fashion, you're into sports, you don't really know golf, you're learning the guys, and deals like Jason Day's deal kind of get you like, oh, Jason Day. Okay, well, Jason Day is kind of on the backside of his career, but at the same time, super cool, fashionable, Nike his whole career.
Yeah.
Got that like Brooks Koepka, just really clean, head to toe, Nike everything. You know what you're going to get every time he shows up.
Yeah.
And then he goes and does this Malbon Golf deal.
Yeah, it
was huge because these companies that are coming in that are kind of underground, that are like the fun, hip, cool companies that you just want to like, hey, I want to step outside and not wear Adidas and Nike and Under Armour and just the basic things that everybody wears.
Right.
Like, that's the stuff that you're into. That's the stuff we look into in these little, like, underground brands. And Malbon Golf, like, blew up by signing. Then he shows up, and everything he's worn ever since then, I'm like, what the fuck is he wearing?
He was in the old white with the big... I was like,
But every tournament, I've been so excited, and I love Malbon Golf. I love their logo. They have the little golf ball with a bucket hat. Then they have like the cursive M.
Yes.
So they have those 2 different hits that they do. And you rarely see either one of those on him, and they just put him in the weirdest.
It was a fashion.
It's like
statement.
exactly.
Right.
Well, but it's like this ever since he's been on it with every tournament. It's like this, fashion week show where
totally
we're gonna completely shock you with what we're gonna.
Like we're in Paris or something.
But
does that affect his game, right?
But Jason Day
does that affect him just more on the runway?
Jason Day
he's like New Zealand.
He's not Dennis Rodman.
That's the point that I think is
so he's not that guy.
Me. He don't seem like it's almost like he doesn't feel comfortable in what they're putting him in.
Does that affect your game, right?
I mean, it would me.
The pants
as an athlete,
was it today?
If my wristband ain't in the right spot, I'm
white baggy and the white. I'm like, you look like a caddy. And I'm looking at these photos, and I would be uncomfortable. I've tried on pants, and I get different pants, and I'm like, I can't play in this.
I'm that guy that can see over here what they're trying to do, even if it doesn't work. Even if it's some colorway or some shoe or something that's like, I see what you tried to do there, but it didn't hit.
Right.
I can't see it with Jason Day. I don't. And what really why I'm talking about it so much, what confuses me is I love Malbon Golf and what they've done and everything about their marketing and the look and the logo and everything. And I love Jason Day. So I loved the partnership of them coming together, and everything I've seen since then has nothing to do with who Jason Day is, and it has nothing to do with what Malbon Golf looks like.
It's just
confused. So that's the part for me that's been kind of like, okay, maybe somewhere there's a story that they're telling us that all of a sudden is going to click one day, but I just wanted to bring that up because that's weird, leading into what you're wearing, which is Eastside Golf, which is another one of these companies that's so like, again, I don't know how many golfers out there and how many people have even heard of Eastside Golf, know what it is, or if you go on, you might look up something and be like, $350 for them. I'm cool to just high five them and say it's cool. So I want to let you kind of talk a little bit about Eastside Golf, why you like it, and like what kind of connected you with Eastside.
Yeah, I think that Malbon, Eastside are coming from a very similar heart and spirit, in that they're pulling from culture outside of golf and bringing that culture, but also the people in that community to the game of golf. Because if I can be made to feel like what I prefer to wear, what I wear day to day, is acceptable in the country club environment on the golf course, then maybe I'll get out there and start knocking it around a little bit. And so Eastside Golf in particular, shout out Eastside Golf, Olajuwon and Earl. They don't know me, but I know you.
Yes, the founders.
Yeah, so a couple brothers out of Morehouse College. They played at Morehouse, won a national championship together, HBCU. These guys, I think Olajuwon was an accountant, and Earl is still a golf pro. He's one of the foremost leading young golf pros, teaching young people introducing them to the game in the business today. So these two cats played together at Morehouse. Olajuwon wanted to get into entrepreneurship, get out of the accounting firm, and they birthed Eastside Golf. For me, what it has meant is, the first thing that I was drawn in by was their logo. It's on here somewhere.
You got on the hat. You got on the hat. You got it here. Yeah.
To see, I mean, it was clever and kind of tongue in cheek, but to see a black man swinging a golf club, I felt included. Like, okay, they're speaking to me immediately. But he's got his chain swinging, and that's kind of the iconic thing, that he's wearing a gold chain and he's in street clothes, but swinging a golf club. Yeah. And I just thought that was very clever. It drew me in. I wanted to know more about their story immediately. Yeah. And so the more I delved into it, I think at the time that I got introduced to the brand, they were in partnership with Jordan. Yeah. So it was a say less moment. Like you had me at hello with just seeing the branding, the community that they were targeting, which I'm the target demographic, and also seeing that they're in collaboration with Jordan. To me, the Jordan brand represents excellence across sport, but also across, just craftsmanship. When I buy a Jordan hoodie or a pair of shoes or something, I've grown to expect that it's going to be made well.
Yeah, Jordan's the most identifiable logo in the world. It's they say Jordan's image, just a silhouette, the silhouette. I love the inclusiveness of just everybody in golf right now, especially in this last decade.
Yeah.
You know, you clung to it first and kind of got me with the thinner pant, right? The different fits, the different feels. We got John, like guys that are doing glove companies, this sort of stuff. It's great for the game, but what you're seeing in golf now, right? These guys are wearing dope kicks. They're wearing the Cactus Jacks. You're seeing the Phenows, and then you still have the guys like Justin Thomas that are wearing those FootJoy leather shoes, and I'm like, what are you doing? Right?
You're wearing your granddaddy's shoes.
It wasn't acceptable 10 years ago, 15 years ago. If Jason Day had showed up in those pants and that outfit 10 years ago, he wouldn't have been on.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have allowed him. And that's just a reality, right?
But to that point, briefly, I forget which day it was. He came out in a.
It was day 2. Yeah, it was day.
Yeah.
It was
so Friday he comes out, and I don't think many people saw it. Maybe a lot of people missed it because he only got about 2 or 3 holes in before someone from Augusta National approached Jason Day, his caddy. However that conversation sounded, I'd love to have been a fly on the wall. But someone approached him and asked him to take off the Malbon sweater vest because it had large branding, Malbon Championship, something or other across the front.
Yeah, they have a rule with marketing and sizes.
So somebody approached him, said, "We're gonna need you to take that off." And I like.
This ain't the Live Tour.
They don't want the big branding and all that. They're already flexing enough. I think though. I think the league, the PGA has gotten loose enough. Like I'm saying, but I mean that's crazy.
But there's a whole conversation in that, and as we would unpack it and begin to explore, what does the PGA think that they're protecting? What are you preserving?
They're protecting the good old boy, old school, and they're going.
I'm gonna let you say it.
And I'll be honest. I'm being honest. They're protecting the good old boy, loose enough, and MLB is the only other sport that I can think of that is that conservative about tradition, pride. You still have the like they could go electronic umps in the MLB, but they'll never do that. You just keep it OG, right? You keep it constitutional, keep it OG.
The aesthetic of the game.
It's the thought, especially when you're in an Augusta and you're at these big tournaments. But I'll be the first one to say it. They're just staying OG to their roots. We still have to keep it like old school and like let them get loose enough, because you're seeing hoodies on Fina. Like for me, when I first saw the hoodie a couple of years, I'm like, they're wearing hoodies.
Where's his collar?
That was a big deal.
There's golf courses here.
Big deal.
You show up with a hoodie. And like just as going out as a local, and they're just like, no, you can't wear the hoodie. And you're just like, I mean, some of them you're just like, Finau's wearing a hoodie. I mean, great point. Yeah. Great point when they came out and stuff.
It's very much Wimbledon's that way. So with tennis, that's the one tournament that you have to wear all white. And it's very minimal that you can have any little splash of color or anything. I don't
branding
know what the percentages and branding and all
and
that.
You follow those rules because it's tradition and it's pride.
Which is Augusta.
And I think there's a lot of players still that MLB and golf, I think those are the two in tennis, like the more old traditional sports, and where they're like, you have to hold on to these traditions to keep the sport what it was, but I don't believe in it.
Well, I don't believe in it.
Let's
go with the NBA. The NBA and the shoes with Michael Jordan. Those have seen the movie Air, where when he first came out and wore the Nike shoe that was red and black became a problem. He got fined, and that became part of the marketing campaign and all that. But it changed. That changed. That was banned, and that's the coolest part. To get that and have the big band across the. So again, brilliant marketing. Whether accidental or however it worked, but again, NBA even had that era that was like that then turned into it slowly worked its way in, and the shoe game started to change across the board. NBA was leading that through everything, and it kind of became the shoes that you would wear wherever you would wear them really were NBA inspired, mostly coming from that. And then today, just recently, that changed to where you can wear pink shoes, neon yellow, 2 different. So again, every sport has that certain time when
NFL's behind them, because NFL you can only wear certain socks, certain shoes. They wear the cleats only for a certain game, and these guys warm up in one cleat in the NFL. I'm just thinking about it. And then they have to take them off.
You're right. Yeah.
And you can only wear those branded ones when it's support, this or that. They still, all these sports, now that I'm thinking about it, every professional sport is like helmets and colors, and you got to keep it a certain way.
I can appreciate it all to a certain extent. I understand that professional sports are corporatized.
What do you appreciate though? Like what?
Well, I appreciate tradition as much as the next person.
Yeah.
But all tradition isn't great tradition. And
100%. Great line.
We'll save it for another episode, even delving into some of the. But you know what? Because of the Eastside brand, I do want to mention it.
Please do.
To a degree. So one of the things that has increased my loyalty to Eastside as a consumer. They don't know my name. They haven't sent me a hoodie, a T-shirt.
They probably will soon.
Not yet. Once they
probably will
because
we're
they're like what up? They're like 50 people watch this.
Yeah,
we're gonna look this guy up.
Right. So,
welcome to our show. My mom's gonna email and be
right.
like, "You really need to check out this Turhan Coleman cat."
Yeah. So, but Eastside last fall dropped a collection called the Clubhouse Collection. The base color, it's Kelly Green, Celtics green. And so what the Clubhouse Collection was...
I refer to it as Oregon, but whatever.
Oregon,
Masters green.
Yeah. Masters green.
Kelly Green like the Celtics.
So the Clubhouse Collection is commemorating the integration of the PGA Tour. And so throughout the collection, there's little hits on the pieces that say 1961. If you don't know at home, 1961 was the year that the PGA Tour was integrated. Charlie, Tiger Woods' son's name, Charlie Sifford, was the first black man to play on the PGA Tour.
Did he name his son after that? No, that's no.
I have heard yes that Charlie is named Charlie. Charlie Woods is named Charlie.
I got goosebumps. That's awesome.
Behind Charlie Sifford and to honor Charlie Sifford. So, Eastside making that collection and educating us as recreational golfers about the history of the game and like where we've come from. And I love this collection. Bought a few pieces myself. It's basic black and white with that green as the accent color.
How do I not know about this more? Because that's my. You know me.
So black and white connecting on the greens.
Gosh.
And so I believe the tagline for that collection is awesome. in honor of those who came before us. So 1961, and like super things that have meaning like that, like
shut up and
take my money. Take my money.
Shut up and take my money because that's all I'm gonna rock.
So thank you for saying that because that's exactly awesome. That and like to a point that's something like the what people don't always think about. Obviously these things happen in the background, but the black and white coming together on the greens and it representing that. That's the type of stuff I'm trying to think about and getting paid. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Every day for my own brands and or other brands. That's what people hire me to do. It's creating culture. It's creating those taglines. It's everything.
Being cool.
Anything that just gets you to identify and connect with the brand through the simplicity of like, oh my God, I love that. And then you put it on a shirt or in a commercial or whatever it is. But a lot of people, it's just like, oh, that's clever. Okay.
They just don't get it, right?
That's
I would wear black and white, and then all of a sudden,
that's exactly.
But then all of a sudden, the story comes behind it, and you're like, oh my gosh,
like I just thought it was cool. Black and green.
Because that's black, white, green. That's what I wear. It's like that, and on top of it, that's awesome.
But that's exactly why my point is that's exactly what I wanted to kind of like as we're talking about the Masters and like I wanted to bring up these unique brands and ones that we identify with and talk about all the time. Because of the fact that it's things like that, little things, the backstories and all the little things that make us like, oh man, it's all the things we try and apply to the next thing I'm doing and the next thing we're talking about. And it makes you, like it's constant inspiration and it's constantly like just new things. Again, for golf, as we're talking about, it's as much as these things seem very minuscule and kind of like they're a big deal. It's a really big deal to the part that it's so big that they came out and said, take your sweater vest off. It's too big. It's too much.
Right.
Like that was my favorite thing he's worn to date was, as I told you, of all the stuff he's worn, that was my favorite thing. Yeah. And they made him take it off.
I'm surprised. I'll be honest. When you said it and like, I'm just chiming in my head. I'm surprised with golf is by far and tennis are the most conservative leagues as far as rules and regulations.
Club sport.
I'm surprised, right? That they don't have to approve it. I'm sitting there thinking, he didn't have to a pre-approved
submit his fit,
and then Melbourne didn't know, like, hey, you can't do that. Maybe they did it on purpose.
Guess what? At the same time,
because we're talking about it, everyone. If we're talking about it for 3 people, then we're
it's viral already.
Yeah.
This is the band. This is the band sweater vest.
Yeah.
But when was the last time somebody?
Who got a band? When's the last time somebody got a band sweater vest? You can't wear that sweater vest. Like,
damn it, Bob!
You shouldn't be wearing a sweater vest anyways.
Your swag is too hard.
Wait,
take that sweater vest off, Bob.
Gosh,
when was the last time somebody did something like that?
Jason's like,
or tried to do something like that. So that's why
nobody pushes the envelope.
Right, no one's pushing the envelope. So that's why is the first time that was pushing the envelope wasn't.
I love that. That's
horrible.
Pushing the envelope in golf.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna wear a big logo. Jason Day's like, you get it, right? You chip cherry. Like he's like, I'm going out there anyways.
Well,
like, let him stop me.
We talked about this. I have no idea. I hope someone can chime in and tell us different. We know some people in the golf world, so maybe they'll tell us different. But that's what I guess I don't like the most about this collaboration with the two of them is I don't feel like Jason Day has any say in this. I feel like someone at Malbon, or I don't even feel like someone at Malbon's
that's your feeling, right?
You don't know. I don't even feel like someone at Malbon's doing this because it doesn't look like anything they do. So I feel like somewhere someone's creating something within Malbon and going, here, Jason, here's what you're wearing.
We're going to make an example out of you, though, and it's he's falling victim, maybe. Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know.
Right? We don't know. He could be like, no, I want to rock this anyways.
Maybe he's designing it, which is Malbon's like, shit, that's the end of us.
Well, here we go.
His name is being spoken more because of what he wore this weekend.
We would not be talking about Jason Day.
He wasn't in the conversation.
We would not even be talking about it. We'd be talking about Rory and Ludwig Oberg. Yeah.
What I think is unfortunate about it, and any time something so petty as the attire, or someone's, sometimes in women's sports, we've talked about, her braids are, she's got pink braids in. I heard things like that during the March Madness. Yeah. Anytime we lose focus and get distracted by what we're wearing instead of what he looks like on his scorecard. They weren't talking about
what his shot.
They weren't talking about his scorecard. So much of that conversation on Friday about Jason Day was, oh my God, his pants are baggy. Oh my God, did you see the sweater vest? Like,
that's where Jason Day got his push.
We've gotten lost in the sauce a little bit at that point. Yeah. And so I just feel like,
rules are rules. For those, I agree. Rules are rules. Look at rules are rules. You know the rules when you come into any sport: football, baseball, basketball. Here's the rules: you can't wear these socks, can't wear these shoes. You're making a lot of money, but I'm with you, right? It's like, did he know he couldn't wear that logo? Did he wake up in the morning and go like, look in the mirror and go, I'm gonna have this thing taken off at some point today.
I'm about to upset the gram.
Yeah, I'm about to eat my pimento cheese sandwich for $1.50, but they're gonna fine me for $150,000.
And that's what I said. I don't think it's that because I think that no one's pushed the envelope or done anything like that because the sport.
We haven't seen that.
The sport just everybody knows where the sport lies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where it's at.
We could Google it. Has anyone ever been told to take off something else in their uniform ever in golf?
No.
Well, can we shift it at least for a moment in this direction? In terms of the golfing world, and I'm seeking to be educated in this question because I can't name the guys who are. I can name a couple live guys and then a couple guys that are probably still PGA, but from where I sit as a fan, it seems like the personality left the PGA Tour and went to live. Like the player names that I've heard of that are on
they're allowed to wear shorts. Yeah. And so you're not allowed to wear shorts on the PGA.
The cats that have some personality, a little, personal brand, if you will, as a professional athlete, it seems like they've gone live. Right. And what you got left behind on the PGA Tour right now is some real milquetoast.
I mean, you look at Norman. Do you guys see that he had to buy his own Big Dick Norman? Yeah. He had to buy his own tickets.
We'll post the picture.
Yeah, we'll post. I think we already did, but we will again. I don't know if you've seen the picture of him, Greg Norman,
cruising down the beach,
and you're like literally like the bike stand. But he's like I've never shaken more hands than I did at this tournament, and it's like a shot right in the live. I love where you're going with this.
Okay.
You do. You have this personality type. They're allowed to wear shorts. They only play they play less holes, less rounds. I mean, everything is.
They got the music.
And they make
formats.
music.
The format's tough to follow
more
because it's
money.
so new and we're not paying enough attention.
They did
to
their
it.
whole
It's different. It's very
scramble
different.
shamble team thing. It's exciting. I think it's exciting, but I think the biggest conflict, and this is probably where you're going, like the biggest conflict with that is PGA is like, we are wearing our white polos and there's logos only this big and you cannot wear that glove and this hat and that's the old plantation Augusta, and I'm not afraid to say it. We're going to be organic on this show and I'm going to be me, and if you don't want to like me or follow me, I don't give a shit. It's very old school white pressure on being too urban, too comfortable, too cool.
Yep.
And they did let it get away, which is dope, which I loved. Like I said, this last decade, really, with the Justin Thomas, the Jordan Spieth, these guys were more Ricky wearing his orange. Tiger broke ground wearing his like red, but and when you see Tiger, he's still wearing the flared pants, and you're just like, bro, what? Like you made the joke. What was it? It's like you're like, bro, like, come on, man. Like he's built like a stallion. Like just wear the fitting pants. But they've let him get away. But I agree. Just as a humble solo person, it's still so old and conservative, and it's so backdoor. It's so stupid that we're talking about this right now. Like because you guys are especially in tune with fashion and people being genuine and being unique. That they're like, nope. We're going to take your sweater off. You can't do this. You can't be you. But the live, you could be you, and we're going to pay you more money, and people want to see that. But are we watching that? Do you watch the live? Do you watch the live more than the PGA? I watch the PGA more than the live.
I haven't, and not for not being interested. It's a matter of like figuring out where can I get it on television. Cable networks, what have you.
It comes on. It's really hard to follow. I've had this conversation with my brother, who is addicted to golf now. So it's we're like, oh, did you see this on? It's and it was just on. You basically watch it through the Live app, and you can get it. And it's free. So you can
it is on like normal channels,
but it was
like
on
a random morning.
Yeah. So last week whenever it was on, I'm like, okay, so I'll check it out. Like it's on regular TV. I can check this out. Like it's PGA and. You're just so disengaged immediately because the format's so different. It's team formats and it's just a lot going on that you're just kind of like, you know what?
They might have gone too far, maybe.
I'm down to just hit it on Instagram and see like a hole in one, with the beers flying out and the music and like I'll just catch some stuff like that because it's not. Again, what's good about the Masters and the U.S. Open and all the majors is what those mean. And Liv doesn't have anything like that yet.
And it's the talking, and it's the subtle Jason Day 115 sinks it. It is that draw. And I'm going to be honest, like we have been conditioned to love that. The same voice on the NBAs and the bangs. Like you look forward to different sports and being different things.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm wrong because I love it and I still want to hear that whisper when it's on the TVs and I put it on today and you're hearing the whispers and people hit a shot and the let's go and you're just like cool. Yeah. The PGA has that. I will always follow the PGA. Even though they're traditional because they haven't crossed the line. I don't think, in my opinion, they've crossed the line on any barriers, whatever it is, any creed, color, net. Tons of European players, tons of different sizes, national leagues. But that's why I watch it. The Masters, even though I barely get to watch it, it's like the NCAA Final Fours. It's the playoffs in the NFL. It's the hockey playoffs.
It's sense of urgency.
100%.
Sense of urgency.
Sense of urgency in a sport, being a sportique, and you're just like, I have to know. At least for me, I'm going to go, and all I'm going to do all night and all day tomorrow is listen to the recaps and watch because I don't get to watch because I'm smacked at work, and I'm like, I have the sound on, and I'm like, I'm not going to get to listen to it, but I have to be engaged.
That's why I also love motocross, supercross, because it's just like the NFL. It's a sense of urgency from day one at Anaheim because there's 17 weeks, and if you 1 week can lose the championship for you. So every one is a sense of urgency. There's never ever 1 week that one rider that's anywhere near a championship is going like, I can kind of take the day off today. I can sit this out, or I don't feel good. I'm going to ride. Like everyone is like, no, like I got to try and win this race or be in the top 3 or top 5, or the year's over, pack it up, get ready for next year.
NFL versus
so it's
MLB
it's
with
always a
62
sensitive
games.
Yeah, and I didn't know that about motocross,
Yeah.
but I always, in reference to NFL, I always say the presence of the pressure of time. Like having just
great.
16
That's
weeks,
great.
17 weeks now. Without that, none of it matters. I mean, that's why we have a scoreboard, right? With a clock that like tick, tick, tick. It's the presence of the pressure of time that creates these moments.
It's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
I love
Sounds
that.
like
So
my life.
we
Sounds like my personal life, dude.
For all of us.
We got a few more minutes. We're wrapping it up. But it was funny. You brought up the point about the birds, and I love that part. Again, so I'll get up, I'll turn on the TV, and you want to hear especially the Augusta. Augusta is just
right?
Then cue the music.
Yeah, cue the music.
Yes.
Well,
So
we're gonna do
we
it
just
one more
found
time.
out that the sand isn't sand.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It's crystals.
Yeah,
granite.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
so everything
it's
about
crazy.
this, but what I love is you do have these characters. So you have characters like Hatton that I think it was yesterday. I got like maybe I gotta rewind this. Listen to this. So it's dead quiet. And I'm like, oh, and he's sitting there and he's got a little approach shot up, which is horrible because it's either gonna come right back to you or it's gonna go freaking long because it's impossible to play this course. And he hits the thing and it takes off and just goes nowhere near anywhere he thought it was gonna go. And he's just like, what the fuck?
That was.
Are you kidding me?
Patrick Reed, mic'd up.
And
Johnson.
And what's great is that, and it's just quiet because it's national television, and they're just sitting there, and all of a sudden they go, well, all of us think it, but he said it.
Yeah, it's so good. You had Patrick Reed like hit one, and he's like, "You hit my friend," like because he hit him on the last hole, or Johnson be like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like on the hole, you're mic'd up, and it's live and it's lit.
Because
Like,
Jordan Spieth is your favorite, and I love watching Jordan Spieth because he's
God damn it, Jordan!
He's
every
hot.
time he misses,
He constantly
my
talks
favorite
to himself, and what I love,
He's a
we talked
psychopath.
about this. Full Swing is an amazing show for any of the people who haven't seen it on Netflix. It's really in depth behind these players, getting to know players that
very conservative
a very conservative, dull sport in a sense of, especially if you don't know the sport, you do not care. These guys are flat. I watched the newest. There's a second season of Full Swing, and the episodes that you almost want to skip are so good when they dive into their backstory and the families and how they got there. So just a super well produced show.
Well produced.
But basically, it's to that point to where I've always said I love Jordan Spieth and some of these guys like Hatton, because Jordan is the guy that I love when they just go quiet and they let them get up, and he talks through every process of every shot with his caddy, and they get the yardage and they look at the wind and they're looking at the trees to see how it's going, talks them through. Well, I think, aim at that back tower to the right, and they'll pick out a guy in a shirt in the background. Okay, the guy in the orange shirt, aim for him. And he's like, well, I don't know. I think I'm going to go 7. He's like, his caddy's telling him.
They're talking each other off the ledge. So like the caddy's
they'll go through, and then Jordan or the player will go, okay, I trust you. He'll take what his caddy told him to do. These guys are amazing.
They say we.
These guys are amazing.
When they win. We won.
Yeah.
And people are like, who's we?
They'll go, and I'll tell you what, when you're the caddy, you're praying that shit's closed because they let you fucking hear it when it's not. It's just like, here's my club, asshole. I told you I was going to go for that, and I went for yours, and it didn't work, or vice versa. Like, let's go. That's my boy. We did it.
Yeah, so they go in depth with some cool caddy
So I
stuff.
love that. We've talked about this just to like that raw, mic'd up, like walk me through it.
I would want you as my cat, even though you would golf with me, bro. If you were my cat,
even though I'd be telling you,
I'd just be like,
3 clubs too much.
Like, bro, no, I just you're the way you talk, the way you present yourself, and your voice. I'd just be like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'd be like, tell me again, tell me again, T. I'm going for it.
I'm gonna gas you.
He's like, hit your 5 round. I'm like, it's 120 out. Hit your 5. I'm going for it. I'm selling it, T. Bro, like, you would be the best caddy, bro.
So that's pretty much it. I want to hit. We're gonna have Turhan's gonna be on numerous times. He's locked in whether he wants to be or not.
We've talked about you enough.
I want to shout out a couple people because also this week our boy Sergio. So his at Sergio Art and Music. Check him out on Instagram if you don't know.
He's going to be playing at My Yard Live on Cinco de Mayo. If you want to come out and watch him on Cinco de Mayo, he's going to come out and do live paintings. We're actually going to be donating some of the paintings to some of the guests. Ridiculous.
Dude, best hair in the world. He's got that head and shoulders.
God, he's a beautiful dude.
I know a little Palomalo.
All I do is hang out with beautiful dudes because I like just.
That's why I don't like Serge. I'm stuck.
But I'm the ugly friend. I just hang out with these cats, dog. I'm stuck here too.
Sergio Flo.
Yeah, right though. You're good.
So check him out on Instagram and look up this week, which sucks because we got him into golf like 2 years ago. The guy knows nothing. But the difference is again, kids and anyone. He listens. So he's not there. He's not going there with an ego. When you play golf and he's good, he starts, I'm like, I'm not telling you shit anymore. He will listen to anything he absorbs it. And the next time you go out, he's just, la-di-da-di-da. Like,
really good cigar, too.
Yeah, he'll give you a cigar.
He's got some
He'll buy the cocktails, but he's good. He learns, but he got invited to go to Augusta this week. Yeah. TaylorMade. We're like, we all know the TaylorMade guys. They're not inviting us. Like, what the hell's happening?
How did we get left out, though?
So he got paid to go to Augusta
Yeah.
and be at a TaylorMade party, and he did a painting of Colin Morikawa. He got to meet him. Colin signed it. And Colin, and again, I'm not ruining it for Ryan, I guess, but Colin Morikawa was tied for first place today. I won't tell you what happened.
I actually had him on my DraftKings, by the way. I did really well on my DraftKings. Thank you, Scotty.
So that and then you mentioned our boy John Cantrell.
Yeah, John Cantrell, bro.
This is my hat, New Day Golf. I was wearing one of his hats on the last episode.
I actually have a plug coming up for you too.
We always rock his stuff. We'll have him on at some point, and probably with his brother Justin as well. Motocross, freestyle motocross guy, but a couple cool dudes. But anyway, yeah, we can do this forever, but we want to try and keep it within an hour. So we're gonna shut it down today. We're gonna tease our next one because our next show is gonna be a road show that we're headed up with our boy Jason Williams for Fuck Cancer Foundation.
Fuck Cancer
right here.
.org.
Super amazing foundation. He invites us to play in his golf tournaments each year.
We'll be doing more of like a live set from the ride.
So that one's gonna be fun because we're gonna that's gonna be a fun one. So
T's gonna be back real soon. Probably the next one and the next one. Fit right in.
Next thing, we're gonna just like our actual guest is gonna be like sitting in the corner and stuff.
Pretty soon it's gonna look like my living room. It's just gonna be a
we're
couch.
We're gonna be packed in like this,
like arms length
with 7 cameras,
cuddling each other. But hey, want to thank you for coming out. One of the most genuine again, and that's from the bottom of my heart. We're gonna go hang out with the wives, do some dinner.
Hit it right here.
You need to catch up.
So once again, at Chasing the Cool, the podcast, YouTube, Spotify, chasingthecool.com if you want this shirt, other cool ones. I'm probably gonna throw on something from today that we think about and joke about later when we're having a couple cocktails. We'll invent a new shirt that I'll throw up there. I'm always adding new stuff, so keep checking it out. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah, come by my yard live, San Marcos. Let's go.
Cheers. Have a good evening. Love you guys.
Till next time.
Bro,
all right.
You're built for that. You are built for this life.
Hey,
kiss your Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays.
1 hour.
Nailed it.